Welcome back, fans and friends. If you can't tell what this video is going to be about, it will be about Dodge Chargers. So there's two 1969s and a 1970 here, but the one coming up is not a green light, it is a Hot Wheels. So I just picked this up from a Walmart perhaps 2 hours ago. We can see there Dodge Charger 426 Hemi, chrome interior, which is unusual, but then there's the Dodge. 108 out of 244, and Muscle Mania 11, and it is the 8th out of 10 from vehicle from that series. So I didn't realize it because I just looked more in depth to it now. It has a 2009 casting recasting. It is D40 release and the Chrysler Group, and I'm surprised this was on the shelf because according to the package this thing is 13 years old. So this actually looks pretty good for a 13-year-old package. In terms of damage, like you can see here, the corners haven't come out, nothing like that. Plus the car looks great, so we'll be taking it out unfortunately soon because that's what we do here. But we can still see there it says Chrysler Group instead of FCA, and yeah, LLC 2011. So this is a rather old vehicle. Somehow I don't know what happened, like it fell into underneath a shelf or something. I don't know what to say. So anyway, just gonna go ahead and open it and then compare it. Well, to be fair though, those Dodge Chargers from Green Light are just recastings from like 2005, 2006, so they wouldn't be too much older than this one here, right? Look at that, 2007. So technically the Mattel one is newer. Anyway, we'll start with the bottom, the very plain detail, and it is probably more closely related to this one here. The RT, I think it does have the Hemi engine in it, right? That's the Hemi engine there. Obviously the Mattel one will not open, so just get that out of the picture. But it was just unusual for me to see that the old packaging, how much better I think it looks. Like you have like a really nice picture there, and parents' permissions about going on the internet if they still do that. And then in this here, right, look for all the 2011 vehicles. Just highly unusual, but like I said, the packaging looks way better. Even the front, it doesn't look too much different, but it does. I don't know what to tell you. Otherwise, we'll just quickly cover it, and then the other thing too, I talked about Green Light usually not all the time, but they have their listing of cars, at least for the basic sets. You see here, they do the 8 out of 10 and then the 108 out of 244. Well, they will give you overall 10 series of the cars, 22 Hot Wheel video game heroes, 15 track stars, 42 thrill racers, 50 Hot Wheels premier vehicles, and then the treasure hunts. It's a general list. They're obviously not going to list all 244, but I think it's a better job than what they do now. Because they'll have this, and then they'll have like the 8 out of 10 or whatever it is, and then the whatever out of 250, and that's basically it. So anyway, really unusual to find such an old casting, old product on the shelf. However, it is a Dodge Charger, and it's now mine. So 426 Hemi on the side, or either side of the hood scoop. The hood, the tie downs are right there. We can see inside the chrome interior, so the chrome is exactly the same as the bumper material here. Just going into the front, unpainted. It's the simplest type of front, just the stamping. For the front of the vehicle, like I said, it has more. Actually, now that I see it, it's 1970, so I think these ones, it actually bears more in common with the generationally earlier Chargers. So as we know, people who are fans of the vehicle, this is the earlier version and this is the later version. So you can see the changes they made to the vehicle in terms of production, casting, and all that stuff. Engine pretty much through only slightly modifications. The body slight modifications, but the main difference between the two is this. So therefore that would make this Dodge Charger in fact the same as the earlier and not the later. Or perhaps because of the lights. The lights are just highly unusual. We don't know the trim level, we just know the engine. Like I said, one of these is an RT, one of them is a RT, and yeah, this one just says nothing. It could be any kind of a Dodge Charger, the blue one from Barrett Jackson. So we have RTs, they have a bunch of others, Hellcats and everything else. So it is in fact borrowing half from the earlier Dodge Charger and half from the other Dodge Charger. Still looks really nice though. I'm not going to complain too much about that. Nice and shiny paint, pearlescent paint, nothing to complain about. Painted door handles, side stripes. There's the Dodge I talked about. There's the Charger. Like I said, if it was RT, it would let us know near the front there. And then in the back. But obviously, we can see just how different. Mattel, obviously, you're paying only $1.77. I paid 2023 prices for a 2011 product, but you can just see how different the lights are. Obviously, it's not done in the same detail, but pretty much most of these era Dodge Chargers would have been what these three green lights are rather than this. It's similar to like a Roadrunner. But anyway, it's good enough. Like I said, I didn't pay as much as I paid for those ones. I really do like these ones. So if you have a chance and you see these on the shelves, definitely worth it. If you're willing to pay the price, obviously. Otherwise, you can stick to this. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this. You get a decent amount of detail. And the car still looks great. As you can see, the basic lines are extremely similar. Obviously, they made some changes technologically and design-wise. And now the other thing too about these Dodge Chargers is it has the lip hood. The earlier ones, these two, the hood will fold into that little rim there, and it makes it really difficult to open. So what was I going to say is you can see stylistic changes between the bodies. Obviously, if green light's saving money, doing the different. I have actually an M2 Super B Dodge Charger. I don't have a Dodge Charger M2. Like the plain, if it's not the Daytona. So I will see if I can compare those later on. But these green lights are all great. I have very few issues with any of them. But I'm trying to get away from those three and do this one. So I'm pretty much done this one anyway. All we have left is the roll test. But like I said, highly unusual that such an old product was still on the shelf. I do love the old packaging. I'm kind of sorry I took it out, but after all, that's what this channel is about. So if you stuck around the whole 7 minutes and 50 seconds for this video, this is Thomas from Toronto, and thanking you for watching, and till the next one.